seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades.
Why? Hello, true believers. What's up, everybody? Hugo Nowhere back with another video. And today we are going to be talking about the fallout of Conformity Gate. Yesterday, I posted a video of my, first reactions to what occurred that day, which was a whole lot of nothing occurred that day. But nonetheless, I said I would. So I did. That video did way better than I thought, and it's just me sitting in my car, so holy cow. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed to this channel. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for interacting and commenting and liking and all that stuff. Reading your comments was honestly the highlight of yesterday and the day before and the day before. It was heartwarming in a way to see everybody kind of on the same wavelength and everybody so hopeful, right, that we were gonna get something. And although we didn't, the community aspect of it all doesn't get lost on me. Honestly, at the end of the day, it just made posting those videos worth it, whether it was right, whether it was wrong. I love the interactions. I'm a huge social person, so just having something to read about what people were thinking, where they were, was awesome to me. So genuinely, that was pretty much the best thing. I appreciate all the nice comments. They were very humbling. Thank you so much. And I hope you stick around on the channel. I'm not always going to be talking about Stranger Things, but I'll definitely just be yapping because I'm a yapper and that's what I like to do. So it may not be Stranger Things. It might be something else. And I have a lot of ideas going forward. But let's not waste any more time and let's get into this. Just my final thoughts on what ended up happening and just accepting it. We all hope for a different ending. I think this community loved the IP of Stranger Things so much that they so desperately wanted something, and out of it there was so many theories that ended up being a little bit better than the actual finale itself. I probably shouldn't be shocked, but I am. People are still cooking up some theories about it wasn't yesterday, it's gonna be on the 9th.
Stranger Things TikTok just posted this Morse code, which shows this when you put it in the Morse code generator and translates to January 9th. Stranger Things Instagram also posted this photo, and if you zoom in, you can see a 9 in the background. So if we're not getting the episode at 7 p.m. tonight, does that mean we're getting episode 9 on January 9th? Maybe. There's still hope, guys.
The documentary that comes out on the 12th isn't actually a documentary. It's going to be a meta commentary, and Vecna is going to be there just like in the plot of Freddy Krueger. I forgot which film it is. 7, I think it is.
What if we're not getting a 9th episode, but we get something even better instead? We're still cooking, baby. So in an earlier video, I talked about the connection between Stranger Things and Nightmare on Elm Street. To summarize, during Holly's memory, we see her watching one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. The Duffers have been very open about the level of inspiration Stranger Things has taken from the franchise, especially when it comes to Vecna. The 6th film in the franchise seemingly convinces the audience that Freddy is dead. And the 7th film, A New Nightmare, is structured as a meta documentary style film where the cast and crew are haunted by Freddy himself. And we know Stranger Things has a documentary releasing on the 12th. Now stick with me because this is going way deeper than you think. So what if we see a New Nightmare style documentary in which the cast has to battle Vecna one last time, but after defeating Vecna, volumes 2 and 3 both get adjusted, filling in the gaps and adjusting the altered scenes to give fans the complete story. Also, shout out to this user for initially bringing this up to me. To me, this makes way more sense than a 9th episode does. It would be easier to do.
On top of that, something that's so small that I did see a lot of people bring up too, some thumbnails for some episodes of season 5 are missing still on Google, and apparently there has been talks that originally when we got the run times for the episodes, they were longer, and we were given these run times by very reputable sources. So the fact that a lot of time seemed to be cut out, there was going to be something where we were gonna be able to quote unquote unlock the full runtime of those episodes. There is a game that delightful Derek plays called Ghost and Goblins, where at the very end of the game, when you get to the final boss and defeat him, which is I believe Satan, you get told that it was all an illusion and you have to start over on a harder difficulty, run through the game again just to get to that same part, and essentially it all becomes a cycle. You're trapped in a cycle, and because because of that, people thought that's what was going to happen, because in season 2, in the first episode or second episode, Mad Max, we see Max playing Dig-a-Dig or Dig-a-Dug. I always forget. I always get it confused. But that was intentional because it was an Easter egg for later on in the series where we got the underground tunnels. The only critique was the fact that I guess the version that was shown to us, that one that Derek was playing, that wasn't the NES port of the game, that was the arcade version because of the black bar on top. I don't know. That was like, I guess, the only weird thing about that. But honestly, symbolisms through video games, especially in the 80s, seemed par for the course for Conformity Gate itself. Not only are videos like that keeping this theory alive and afloat, but the fact that leading up to the 7th, it seemed like we had Netflix themselves adding their own fuel to the fire. The amount of accounts, like official Netflix accounts, posting, I believe, or One Last Adventure, things of that nature, made it seem like we were actually going to get something.
Okay, I am officially a victim of Conformity Gate. So I'm scrolling on TikTok and I'm watching all these Conformity Gate videos and I'm like, I'm just gonna check the Netflix account, like just in case they posted anything. And this is new. Vecna grabbing the profile picture was literally not there like a couple hours ago because I checked recently. So I called my boyfriend over to look at it and he goes, look at the bio. Stranger Things 5, Volume 3, now playing. And when I tell you I sprinted to Netflix to see if there's a new episode, and there's not, so like don't freak out. They have never once referred to the finale as Volume 3, like never. And I feel like it's very distinct that they never called it Volume 3, because it would make sense that they would say we're releasing Volume 1, we're releasing Volume 2, now we're releasing Volume 3, it's the finale, but they've never used that language when talking about it.
And then we had our boy Jamie, Mr. Vecna himself, go on the Jimmy Fallon show, and from him going on there, we got these 2 clips.
All right, so we'll see what's in each other's minds, all right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Wait, am I doing it right?
And you have to roll your eyes out like this.
All right, and then on the count of 3, we have to say what we're thinking.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 11 lives! Jamie Campbell Bauer, everyone!
Let's channel our energy. Tomorrow, it begins. Let's do the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The first one is him and Jimmy just talking, and both of them coincidentally say 11 lives. I'm sure that was probably rehearsed before the show, but come on the day before on the day before we all assumed that something was going to drop, they do that. And then the clip of him leading an exercising class, jazzercise, I don't know. He looks at the camera and says, tomorrow it begins. Yes, I know. That is a call out to what he said in the show where where he's telling all of the kids what his plan is, how he's gonna save the entire world or whatever. He says, tomorrow it begins. It was a callback. But again, everything seemed to fit so perfectly, and I genuinely think that added an entire layer of delusion, an entire layer of just believability, right? Because why would this be happening all coincidentally? I think not. At least that's what I was telling myself yesterday throughout the entire day when I was at work, just refreshing my page, hoping to come across something. I even told my sister, like, hey, I won't be able to be on my phone that much, so keep me posted. If you see some on Netflix, let me know, send me a screenshot, I need to know. And nothing. Crickets. So all of those sequences lining up one after another, it just makes people's minds wonder, you know, and it adds fuel to the fire. Out of everybody though, I don't think anybody was as disappointed as the official Slim Jim TikTok account, because the amount of posts that I saw, whoever is running that TikTok account, biggest Stranger Things fan probably ever, because literally under every single post, no matter how popular or viral the post was, you saw Slim Jim. he was commenting, I believe. That's all they did. Just go on every single comment section and type that. And because I think Slim Jim works with Netflix, it made it seem, people were like, what do you know, Slim Jim? What do you know that we don't? What is Netflix feeding you? You have to know something. And Slim Jim was as disappointed, if not more disappointed than any of us. Because on the most recent post after Conformity Gate did not happen, Slim Jim still kept commenting. Now it was more mournful comments like, don't give me hope of people who are trying to keep the theory alive. But seeing that, dude, honestly, it kind of made my day. If I got Slim Jim to comment under one of my videos or whatever, that would be chef's kiss. Oh my gosh. Slim Jim, do a collab with me. I did come across another interesting, maybe not theory, I think that might be going too far, as to why season 5 wasn't that good. And I kind of want to roll the clip because this person explains it better than I will.
I hate to say it, but I think that as an English teacher who stands by the fact that F. Scott Fitzgerald absolutely hijacked his wife's work, put his name on it. I mean, in my 14 years as a teacher, I have seen students hijack other students' work and put their names on. I am confident that part of the problem with season 5 of Stranger Things is that Ross Duffer got a divorce. Her name is Lee. I'm going to butcher her last name. I'll just put it here. But she also is the director of Fear Street. And for the record, my students are obsessed with Fear Street books, with Fear Street movies. This is good writing. She was able in seasons 1 through 4 to help write the show. And I'm just going to say, if you're looking for where did this fall off, I think that there's a lot of reasons, but maybe this might be the cornerstone reason. I think that maybe she's the brains behind the operation. It was almost like making a recipe and leaving one ingredient out. There was just something missing for me as someone who has watched this show for 10 years. It's looking for foreshadowing and irony and all of these things to come back into play later, and then just not having that come to fruition. Shout out to Ross Duffer's ex-wife, Lee. Good for you, girl. Excited to see what you do next.
There's definitely a contrast between seasons 1 through 4 and 5. Obviously, we can't confirm it. And those films, those Fear Street films, is something that I've actually been wanting to watch and discuss. So who knows, maybe that's where I'm gonna go ahead and redirect my energy and my attention. I've always seen those like on Netflix, so I definitely want to check them out. I think something like that is a little bit more plausible and more believable, because if this person behind the scenes was doing a lot of the heavy lifting and we got a final season and it just didn't feel the same, you can't help but kind of connect those dots, right? Something that I also can't help but think of now that I'm looking back through everything is, isn't there somebody in charge of continuity, like for the show, that's like a position? I've watched The Office several times, oh my goodness, and I was really obsessed with the Office Ladies podcast, where they break down every single episode, and they concluded it maybe about a year and a half ago now. Something that they brought up, they had a department which one of their jobs was to take pictures of the set in case they had to do any reshoots, and they needed to get the continuity of that scene that they had in the first place correct whenever they would do these reshoots. So the fact that a production that is, what I'm hearing, $500 million that $500 million went into, didn't have this, it feels a little weird and a little off. So when you have everything that I just talked about kind of stacking up on top of each other, the continuity errors, the fact that one of the Duffer Brothers' ex-wife was a huge part of seasons 1 through 4, the video game symbolism that played a big role in earlier seasons, all of that stacks up, and you have yourself a little Conformity Gate where fans are almost forced to come together in a way and make sense of everything that the actual writers couldn't. And the more I sit here and I talk about Conformity Gate, the more I'm not necessarily mad. Yeah, I'm disappointed and I'm a little sad, but I don't find myself angry. I came across this video on TikTok which really summarizes the sentiment that I had. I mean, this person really vocalized what I kind of wanted to say.
Even if Conformity Gate is just the friends we made along the way, or conforming to the delusion that it's not over. Every post I see that's like, when the Duffer Brothers write an ending so bad, no. When they wrote a show so good that everybody loved it so much that they were so willing and ready and open-minded to believe anything that gave them them hope that they were going to get their story back. And as insane as these last few days have been, I think that that's really fucking beautiful. Angry as you might be, I think that anger is even beautiful. Can't even say it. What is grief if not love persevering, guys? To be loved is to be known, to know everything that you know about the show and to find anything that you can because you want to know the show so well.
People really liked this show. They love this show. And you can't help but want the best for something that you love, something that you appreciate. So out of that sheer will that we have as just human beings, we want the best for that, and we always will. To an extent, was it bad writing? Yes. It was. There is no denying. I am not going to deny that. Their little press tour that they had where they talked to different outlets and they just gave us the most bizarre answers for questions that fans thought so much more about. It felt like everybody else besides Duffer Brothers and the writing team thought more of these things. The fact that there was 12 kids that he kidnapped, apparently that had no correlation. They just liked the clock analogy. But us, we were thinking 12 disciples. We were thinking the original 12 kids that Dr. Brenner was using. Like, come on, you know, and I can't stop bringing this up. But the final battle seemed a little bit too cheesy. It was the power of friendship at the end of the day. The battle that took place in the Star Mall, where our kids were younger, seemed to be a lot harder for our protagonist to actually win. You know, they were split into two groups. The kids who were fighting this beast, and then Joyce, Murray, and Hopper, who had to infiltrate a Russian base underneath the mall to close the gate in order to stop the mind flare. It was a team effort. The stakes were incredibly high. Even if that death that we got from Hopper was a fake out, we still felt it. We still thought that it was true. That was it. Jane lost her dad. Joyce lost a second love of her life. Like, Jesus, you know, those were stakes, and those stakes were missing from this finale. Despite saying all of that, I think the theory, Conformity Gate, it's just the labor of love from the fans who just wanted nothing but the best for this show. And everybody who played a role was just someone who truly loved this work of art. At the end of the day, and I feel like that's like my term in the last few videos, at the end of the day, I am just accepting what is, because I still really like the show. I still really like seasons 1 through 4. And yeah, season 5 fell flat and I wish it was better, but it's part of the journey. And what I'm taking out of this, which is the same reason I'm not deleting the videos that I posted, even if they're completely wrong, is the fact that throughout posting those, it was super nice to get in contact with other like-minded individuals who wanted to also believe. It was scary because there was a comment that somebody is like, Conformity Gate has proven to me that it's so easy to start a cult. Take it easy, just chill with that. Every single person that commented on my videos, I'm extremely grateful. If you subscribe, thank you so much. All your messages were so humbling, they were so kind, and honestly more than I deserve. This whole journey has been awesome. I'm just grateful. Not to mention the freaking memes that we got from this. There's so many, but I want to share some of my favorites.
Oh fuck. Oh my god. Cool. Can you give me a sec?
Alan, we are so...
This is the worst.
Not a stupid fucking idiot. I know it was just a pig, but for 50 seconds it felt really real.
I believe. I believe. I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
This is my last video on Conformity Gate. I don't think there's a reason to post more about it. I might share my thoughts on the documentary just as a quick short or something like that. I'm still not sure. I don't even know if I'll make a video of my thoughts on the documentary. If you would like to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. I am still planning on watching the animated series and the spin-off regarding that magical stone from Dimension X, for the lack of a better term. Somebody suggested that I make videos on those, and I probably will. I don't know if it'll be a review or it's just me just yapping again, but hopefully you stick around for that too. Other than that, I just post whatever I feel like posting on this YouTube channel. I'm a huge believer that the you in YouTube has to come back. Everything feels so commercialized now in YouTube, and I don't like that. I like sitting down at my desk in me and my wife's room and just talking, and I hope to do more of that, and I hope that you're here to watch it. I don't know what my next set of videos is gonna be. I was never expecting to make Stranger Things videos, if I'm being honest. I still plan on posting hopefully at least once a week on this channel. If you want to see what comes next, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down your thoughts, your feelings, and how you're feeling after the lack of a new episode, after the lack of pretty much anything that we've hoped for. I would love to read it. Those are my final thoughts on Conformity Gate. I'm closing the chapter. There's no more to speculate for me on my end. If you are still a believer, I commend you for it. I think that's awesome, and don't let anybody tell you differently. If it makes you happy, then that's all that matters. Keep it nice in the comments. I'm Hugo Nowhere. You stay golden, and I'll see you in my next video.